So, little stretch session. We're going to start on all fours. So, bring yourself with your hands stacked under your shoulders and your knees stacked under your hips here. And we're going to come into our cat stretch. So just drop the head heavy and then think about lifting that breastbone up into the spine and then tucking that tailbone underneath you. And we're just going to hold there. Really thinking about drawing the tummy inwards and the ribs drawing down towards your waist. And just keep lifting away from the floor, getting a nice stretch across the shoulders. Just hold there for me. And now take a nice deep breath into the back of the rib cage. Keep pushing that floor away from you. And again, big breath in. And exhale, stay lifted and rounded through the spine. Then lift that tailbone, sink through the belly, kiss those shoulder blades together, and look up here. This time we're going to drop the head again, just let that head hang. Round through the rib cage. And then tuck that tailbone under. And again, we're going to hold this. So really scoop that tailbone under. If you had a tail, you're drawing it through underneath you. And hold there. You're then going to walk your hands back in towards your knees. So that you get a little bit more of a stretch. And you'll start to feel a stretch into the wrists. And then I want you to turn the back of the hands down. So the palms are facing you. And my fingers are facing inwards. And now push the floor away. And you'll get a stretch through the forearms. Keep lifting that breastbone up and into your spine. And then try and turn the hands or the fingertips towards your knees. Still back of the hands down. Little stretch into those forearms as you extend the elbows and push the floor away from you. And then back to the middle, so the fingers are facing each other, and then just see if you can face the fingertips up your mat, still rounded through the body, trying to keep the wrists right to the base of the wrists down on the floor. And then release. So then walk those hands forward, palms down. And then here. Hands just stacked under your shoulders. You're going to start to shift your weight forward. Now lift your tailbone, sink your belly. And we're going to bend the elbows a little bit. And imagine brushing your breastbone across the floor. Bringing your weight onto your hands and just lift. And then we're going to drop that head round. Curl and tuck under. Bringing our body weight back just towards our heels a little bit. Then scoop forward, back at centre, lift the tailbone, sink the belly, brush that breastbone across the floor as you bend the elbows. Look up. And then roll and curl back, sink back. Deep C shape through the body. Last one, rock forward, start to lift the tailbone, sink the belly, glide the shoulder blades together, rock onto those hands. And then scoot back, this time to centre, and find your nice neutral spine. Shoulder blades down the chest wall, nice long neck. And we're going to come into our thread the needle. So the back of the hand comes down. We fold at the stabilising elbow and listen to the floor with your ear, rotating through the upper back. Then press through the stabilising arm without humping through the spine. So keep a nice straight back. So you open that breastbone to the side of the room. And again, we fold through and open up. And then place that hand down and we switch sides. Back of the hand comes down, we fold. And we open up. And we fold. And we open up. Breath in. Exhale, place that hand down. Sit back onto your heels, soften the elbows, drop the head heavy. Scoot back up from here, and we're going to place the knee that's furthest away from me across the centre and fold down onto our elbow. Stack that elbow under the shoulder, top legs then out long, and we want to not sag through the shoulder but push the floor away from us and get that lift through the underside of the body. And then from here, just lengthen through the waist by reaching that toe along the floor, and think of your headlights on your hip bones facing forward. Watch that rib cage doesn't lift and flare, but is softened down towards your waist, so you've got a connection through the front line. Head and neck in line with the spine. We're just going for 4 lifts here. 3, checking that that leg is nicely on the midline. Last one. Then bring that leg up, and you're going to bring your heel bone to your sit bone as best you can. If you need to just hold your trouser, you can. Or grab a towel and you can wrap that around your ankle. So we're going to hold that there and get a nice little stretch. Tuck your tailbone underneath you and almost push the hips forward, and you'll start to feel a stretch through the front of the hip here. And then kick the leg out and then bring it back. Kick the leg out on the midline and then bring the heel back. Last one here, we kick and bring it back and hold. And now you're going to keep the ankle connected wherever it is for you. Everybody's range is going to be different, but hold it where it is, nice and still. And now hinge from the hip. So the knee comes forward to balance over your bottom knee, and then you're bringing the knee back to the midline. And if you can bring it back a little bit further, do, but don't arch into the low back. You've got to control that tailbone underneath you. Rib cage mustn't flare. So we're hinging forward from the hip, and then we're pressing back. And by holding the foreleg, you're just stopping yourself from using different muscles. Sometimes that lower leg can cheat and you use muscles there to hinge. Cool, last one here. Stretch back and hold. Stay lifted through this arm underneath you. Hold there, and then we're going to kick and fold. Kick and fold. Might be starting to feel the side of the hip working. Hold here and then lower. And we're going to do 8, just little lifts and lower. Really think about this upper body posture now. Nice and open. 3 more here. 2, 1. Then just lower the big toe, take the arm overhead, and you're just going to banana. So really think about lifting the rib cage up. Slide the toe and those fingertips away from one another. Back to center. And open. And last one here. Nice, back to center. Long leg, travel forward and come up into sitting. So you sit evenly on your sit bones and then reach up. We fold forward to the front leg as best you can. Try and keep your back as straight as possible and send your tailbone to the wall behind you. And then flex that foot if you can, deepening the stretch. Just lift away slightly and then lean into that, flex the foot. Release, and again lean, flex the foot and hold. And release, reach forward, grow tall, come up. Bring those arms down and then place this leg out behind you. Opposite arm comes up and side bend over. Then reach this arm up to the ceiling and take it out behind you. Reach the other arm up to the ceiling and push the hips forward. Banana through the upper body and just look at your nail beds of that hand behind you. Inhale and hold. Just press the hips forward, keeping your tailbone underneath you to protect the lower back. And come down. Nice, roll those shoulders back, and then we swivel across to the other side. So bottom leg is nice and bent, stack your elbow under your shoulder and reach the top leg out long. Funnel the ribs down, wide through the shoulders, long neck. From here we go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the leg up. Bring your heel to your sit bone as best you can. If you imagine a torch on your kneecap, it's shining to the wall away from you, and you're holding there. Push the hips forward and underneath you to deepen the stretch through the front of the thigh. And then we kick just to the midline and bang. Kick and bang and kick and then hold. Hold that heel towards your sit bone wherever your range allows you. Bring the knee forward. Then take the knee and thigh back, forward and back. Focusing on control in your lower abdominal wall so you're not arching into the low back. Ribs stay funneled down towards your waist. 2 more here. Last one. Back to the midline. Kick and fold. Kick and fold. Keep pushing through this underside arm. Hold there lower. We've got 8, 7. Long neck, wide shoulders. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Then lower. Let that toe slide along the floor. Arm comes up. Banana over. Back to center. Banana over. Back to center. Bring that long leg forward. Even weight through the sit bones. Reach up and fold. Flex at the foot. Point, release and just lift. Keep sending your tailbone out behind you. And hinge. And release. And hinge. Send your tailbone out behind you. And release, reach forward, bring those arms back up to center. We fold this leg out behind us, taking the opposite arm up to the ceiling. Side bend over, really just drop into that hip. Then reach up to the ceiling, bring the hand out behind you, reach the other arm up to the ceiling. Push the hips forward as you banana through the upper back. Press the floor away from you, just looking at those nail beds. Hold and come down. Bring this leg forward and into cross-legged. Reach those arms up, send your tailbone out behind you and just fold forward here. Let the knees drop out wide so you feel the stretch into the hips. And then here, staying nice and low as best you can. We're going to walk those hands over to one knee. And just feel the stretch there. Then place the arm closest the front behind your head. Open wide through the elbow. And now take your elbow up to the ceiling. Just trying to turn that breastbone up towards the ceiling and fold. 2 more here, we open. Close, last one, open. And then as we close, reach that arm out as long as you feel able. Keeping the sit bones anchored. And then stay low. We walk through to the other leg. Hold here. Take the hand behind the head. Wide elbow. Open and close. Open and close. Last one. Open. And then reach that hand down. Walk back to center. Breath in. Exhale, curl through the spine. Peel that chin away from the chest, reach up. And then bring those arms down by the side of you. Roll your shoulders back to finish. See you tomorrow, same time.